You're welcome to the Messiah channel. We are an end time ministry preaching the word of the Lord to all the four corners of the earth. And we are warning you about the things that are happening in the world, and they should serve as a sign to you that we are in the last days. In the last days, we see rebellion against God. The Antichrist will rebel against God in the last days, and it will be a rebellion led by Lucifer himself, and Lucifer will give his throne to the Antichrist. The Antichrist will use a system to propagate his rule and dominion over the world as he leads the rebellion against God. And the new order of the world will be instigated by architects of Lucifer. They will include nations, and they will include leaders, and presidents of nations will be used, and they will lead the rebellion against God. The gay movement is a rebellion against God, as the worship of the beast is a rebellion against God. And the nation that will rebel against God in the last days is Babylon. In the same way that Babylon was the nation that rebelled against God in the Old Testament. And the nation that is going to lead the rebellion against God in the last days has been identified. And you know the nation. You probably live in that nation. You probably have gone to the nation before, but you see the nation in the news, and that nation is the United States. It's a nation that I believe is the Babylon spoken of in the book of Revelation, both chapter 17 of the book of Revelation and chapter 18 of the book of Revelation. It's the nation that was ruled by Barack Hussein Obama, a Negro who became the president of a white supremacist nation. And is the nation that has led the rebellion against God throughout the ages, and is the nation that is destined to go into perdition, a nation that will be destroyed by fire in the last days, as decreed by the Lord himself in the book of Revelation chapter 18 and chapter 17. And today we are focusing on the rebellion led by that nation, as we talk about the gay movement going on in the world, particularly in Africa. And we are looking at the anti-gay law in Uganda. You are aware that Uganda passed a law that is considered as anti-gay, anti-same-sex marriage, anti-transgender. And Uganda has been ostracized by the West, particularly United States, Babylon, United States. Now, I watched a video where the president of Uganda, Museveni, he was interviewed by a reporter and a white lady, and I believe she's either from the United States or Europe. And she asked the president of Uganda a question. And the question is that the stance that Uganda has taken on gay and LGBT is condemned by um, Barack Obama, President Barack Obama, former president of the United States, number 44. And the president of Uganda responded by saying that there are certain things going on in the West, particularly in the United States, and Africans don't like it. It is against the culture of Africa, but Africans don't have um, any any problem because nations can do whatever they want to do inside their countries. But Africans, they have their culture, they have their values, and they don't like what is being done in the West, in the United States, particularly regarding same-sex marriage and LGBT issues. The president of Uganda said that nobody can tell Africans what they should do, particularly when we are talking about lifestyle that is against the values, the culture of Africans, and is also a rebellion against God who created the universe. The question we ask is that what audacity does Barack Obama have to criticize anti-gay laws in Africa? It's very ironic that Barack Obama became the first Negro president of the United States, and he also became the first gay president of the United States. The title of being the first gay president of the United States was conferred on him by Time magazine, published in the United States. So I'm sure that the Time magazine has information about Barack Obama, his lifestyles before he became the president of the United States, and also since his days as the president of the United States and what he has been doing to promote the gay agenda throughout the world. Obama came to Ghana in 2009, I believe, and gay issues were on his lips. He went to Senegal and the gay matter was on his mind. He went to Kenya and the gay issue was in his heart. And so, who is Barack Obama to have the audacity to recommend that black people should be gay? Obama is not a role model for black people. He is a disgrace to the black race, being the gay president of the United States and also being the one leading the rebellion against God in the last days. And who is Barack Obama to have the audacity to question the sovereignty of African nations, to propagate and to promote laws that protect their culture, to promote laws and propagate legislation and that protect them against cultural imperialism, particularly coming from Babylon, United States. Barack Obama is not a role model to the believer in Christ. He's not a role model to the African, the black man who protects his culture against demonic and satanic lifestyles coming from Babylon, United States. In other words, Barack Obama doesn't have the right to speak on behalf of the black race. I believe that he is a disgrace to the Negro all over the world. Going to Uganda, Uganda passed an anti-LGBT law, and let's go over the scope of the law. I watched a video where the president of Uganda was commenting on the law that they passed against LGBT in Uganda, and he said that if you are suspected of being LGBT, you will not be punished. And I believe that is a good law, it's a good proposition. And I believe that people who are suspected to be gay, suspicion alone should not be the basis of punishment. Otherwise, there will be mob rule. And so I believe that the advocates of LGBT in America, including Barack Obama, should be happy that Uganda is not going to punish people just on the basis of suspicion alone. Obama is a lawyer, and so he probably will be happy about it. And Obama is a gay promoter, and I believe that Obama will also be happy about it. The president of Uganda also said that if you recruit people to join the LGBT movement, then you will be imprisoned. And Barack Obama will not be happy about it because, as president of Babylon, United States, the Negro Barack Obama came to Africa and he used his presidential powers to convince Ghana to accept same-sex marriage, to convince or try to convince Kenya to change the constitution of Kenya to allow abortion. And he also actually was happy when the Supreme Court of the United States ruled in favor of same-sex marriage. And Barack Obama is in support of the gay movement. He's an architect of gay rights. He's an architect of transgenderism. And so he will not be happy. Barack Obama will not be happy. And Babylon, United States will not be happy if people in Uganda are imprisoned because they recruit people to join the LGBT movement. Barack will not be happy. Babylon, United States will not be happy. The architects of the new order of the world will not be happy. Satan's agents, whether they are presidents or they are CEOs, will not be happy because Uganda will not allow people to recruit their children to join the LGBT movement. There are a lot of private schools in Africa. They are established by Europeans, they are established by Americans, and some of these schools stupidly believe that they are international schools, and so they should be exempted from anti-LGBT legislation. For example, if you have a school called George Washington International School in Uganda, I'm using this as an example, then the stupid argument is that they are international school operating in Uganda. They are owned by a foreign individual, an European or an American, and so they should be exempted from LGBT laws in Uganda. And I believe that that is a very stupid argument. It's a satanic argument. Uganda should not succumb to foreign influences and what President Museveni calls cultural imperialism. As we are ending the last days, as we are entering into the last days, as Lucifer's grip on the world is coming to an end. Supporters of Lucifer and Luciferian presidents and agents of Lucifer want Africa to be part of the dark kingdom, want to enlist Africa to fight against God. They want to use LGBT and gayism to bring Africa to the dark kingdom with the intent of casting the people of Africa into the lake of fire. And in that sense, Obama is not a role model for black people. He is a disgrace to the black race, being a gay president of the United States. Going back to Uganda, the president of Uganda said that if you rape and you infect somebody with disease, you will be killed. And so there's aggravated assault as part of the Uganda anti-LGBT law. If you rape, that is aggravation. And if you infect somebody with a disease, STD, and that is an aggravation, and for that reason, you will be killed. You have to remember that Uganda is a sovereign nation, it's an African nation, and should not be intimidated by the bully of this world. I'm talking about Babylon, United States, the nation that is leading the new order of the world, the nation that is leading the rebellion against God who created the universe, the nation that ruled in 1962 that you cannot mention the name of God in public prayers, in public schools in America, the nation that is supporting the recruitment of children as children who as young as 3-4 years to have transgender lifestyle. That nation cannot impose her will on black people. America is not a friend of the Negro. America is one of the nations that enslaved Negroes and still enslaving Negroes. The nation that under the guise of democracy is supporting dictatorship in Africa and the rest of the world. It's a nation that has the inscription in God in trust, but leading the rebellion against God. It's a nation that is hoisting the gay flag in her embassies all over the world, including Africa. The gay movement in Africa is led by the architects of the new order of the world, aka the Luciferian movement, the agencies that are inspired by the agenda of Lucifer to steal, kill, and destroy. The gay movement, the gay issue, is not a human rights issue, it is a human race issue. And that's why nations like Russia even do not support the gay movement. That's why nations in the Arab world do not support the gay movement. But the United States, led by Barack Obama, is trying to force the gay ideology, the gay lifestyle on African nations because they are black. And it is being championed and led by number 44, former president of the United States, Barack Hussein Obama, who is a Negro but is a disgrace to the Negro race. We are living in the last days, and we see attempts by agents of Lucifer to rebel against God. And how can you rebel against God? What is the best way of rebelling against God? It is when you worship the beast. It is when you do the things that will infuriate God, as they did in Sodom and Gomorrah. And they are turning America into Sodom and Gomorrah. And Barak and his agents, his supporters, are trying to turn Africa into Sodom and Gomorrah. Beware that when you see this movement, the gay movement, when you see the sodomization of Africa and the rest of the world, remember the warning that was given by the Messiah, that in the days of his coming, it will be like Sodom and Gomorrah. And so don't be surprised if Barack Hussein Obama, number 44, is leading the spread of the gay movement in Africa. Don't be surprised when Obama is not happy that Uganda has passed an anti-LGBT laws in Uganda. Don't be surprised, because we are in the last days and we are approaching the coming of the Messiah, and the agents of Lucifer who are initiating the New World Order, including Barack Hussein Obama, they will do all that they can to spread the gay movement to Africa. And you should know that we are in perilous time. We are entering the time of the beast system, the Antichrist system. If you have not repented, this is the time for you to repent. Subscribe to the channel. I'm leaving the links to this video in the description box. My email address, raptureafrica@yahoo.com, small letters. Thank you for watching this video.